listen, it's so hard for a lot of people to grasp what we saying. Look at these devils, they riding past me, muggers. Hey, listen, it's so hard when a black man comes out here and speaks in power and authority about something that everybody thinks they knows about, he's automatically discredited.
That's right.
Here's the thing, I didn't learn this on my own. I was taught by men who was taught by men who was taught by men who was taught by men. This was passed down, and that's what you get when you have a nation of people, right? When you build a nation, you can learn stuff from each other. You don't have to learn stuff from your oppressor. Your oppressor teaches you history. That's why you think, listen, that's the primary reason why black people in America today think that they're Africans.
Right.
Black people in 2020 today think that they come from Africa, when they don't even know the history about how we got over here.
That's right.
They don't know that when you were on the west coast of Africa, you fled from Jerusalem into Africa. We got those history books.
That's right.
You don't know that because your filthy, disgusting Christian pastor is too worried about sleeping with your woman and collecting your tithes money.
That's
than teaching you the truth about the Bible. Everybody say color doesn't matter. Well, color is all throughout the Bible. How color don't matter if it's in the Bible? You don't believe me? Let me get Revelations 1 and 13. We'll start off with 1. I'm a little off script, but I just want to speak to the people since I got a few of y'all attention, man. Since I just got a few of y'all attention, I want to prove to you that you niggas in the ghetto are actually Israelites.
That's right.
Color is all throughout the Bible. You think that the Bible is a white man's book? It is not. You won't find one white person in there. The only reason you think it's a white man's book is because of the imagery that your oppressor puts on you. Right? Because of all that propaganda that they spread. You say, man, I can't get down with that. I like sleeping with hoes. Listen, you might sleeping with hoes, but guess what? You're going to catch something that you can't get rid of.
That's right.
The Bible is against you sleeping with hoes, man. The Bible requires you, listen, if you black, Hispanic, or Native American, the Bible requires that you lead a righteous life. You want to know why we dying in the ghettos like we die, and the oppressor treats us like crap? It's because we refuse to serve the Lord.
Right.
Listen, if you want to learn how to truly serve the Lord, come into the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge.
That's right.
Don't join the Christian church, man. The Christian pastor is going to take that tithes money. He's going to get your grandma for all her retirement fund. Your grandma not going to be able to pay her mortgage. She already on a fixed income. But he need those annihilated gators. He need them. He need that Cadillac with them white, what do you call them, white rims with the big fat white strip? I don't know. I ain't never had them, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the hood like you from the hood. I just wasn't fortunate enough to get a Cadillac with the white rims. But your pastor, he need those. He won't even tell you your identity, man.
That's right.
In 2020, you think you African. You can go have a conversation with an African. An African can tell you, first of all, he's not gonna call himself an African. He gonna say, I'm Somalian, I'm from Senegal, I'm from Cameroon, I'm from, Congo, whatever. They know their identity. They can trace their lineage back hundreds of years. You black man, the only thing that you know is you came over here during the time of slavery, and that's it. You say, oh, I was a slave, I must be African. No, you are not an African, man.
That's right.
I'm gonna get you a color scripture that's in the Bible and prove to you that color's in the Bible and color's important. It's important for you to know your identity. Read.
Revelations chapter 1, verse 14.
13.
Verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
Now listen, it's tough for us to understand Old English. King James, by the way, was a black man. You can go and do the research, or you can just come to class. We'll break it all down for you and show you all the history books. King James was a black man, right? He descended from a long line of Scottish kings, English kings, right? French. He was killed by, the oppressors like they always do when we get in power. But anyway, he wrote this. So John the Revelator is saying, right? John the Revelator is saying he has a revelation about 7 candlesticks. And in the midst of those 7 candlesticks, what does he see? Read.
Revelation chapter 13, Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot.
So John had a vision, right? He said, I see a man in the middle of these 7 candlesticks, and he has on a garment down to the foot. We don't have on our garments right now, but normally when it get a little cooler, we put on our traditional Israelite attire.
That's right.
It look weird to y'all. Y'all call us Power Rangers, but it's in the Bible.
That's
you find
right.
studs in the Bible. You find headpieces in the Bible. You find fringes with a border of blue. You wonder why the Native Americans also wear a lot of traditional garments with fringes and blue borders? It's because they're Israelites too. They've also lost their culture.
That's right.
But that's a piece of their culture that they still keep. Traditional Israelite attire. Read.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
This vision of Christ, he had on a golden girdle. Keep going.
Verse 14. And his head and his hairs were white like wool.
Hold on. His head and his hairs? Meaning the hair on his face and the hair on his head was white. The white being the color, wool being the texture. What oppressor do you know has woolly hair? None of them. They got stringy dog hair. You black man, you got woolly hair. They call it nappy. We're gonna let this noise pass. Ain't it always a fire when we come down here? We come down here, it's always a fire in Cincinnati. Why don't they go ahead with that? Read.
Verse 14. And his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
So they got this image in your mind of this white Jesus, right? That's why you think the Bible is a white man's book. Because the image that first comes into your mind is of a man. His name is Caesar Borgia. He was actually a man in history, right? He's the second son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome. You can go and do research on him. Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci went through all throughout Europe and painted his likeness in the likeness of what would be Jesus Christ as you know it. But we about to get the description of Christ. Keep going.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire. Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
What is brass? Let me help you out. Pull a penny out of your pocket, and that is the color of brass. Dude, that don't look white to me.
Right.
It looks like it's brown, but there's even more. Read.
That's what I want to see.
As it they burned in a furnace.
As what?
Burned in a furnace.
Not only was Christ a dark-skinned man, he was so dark that it looked like his feet burned in a furnace. So unless you got some kind of skin disease, your feet is usually the same color as the rest of your body.
That's right.
Christ was a dark-skinned brother.
I.S.U.P.K.
I call out a walk. I pray this devil die and get every evil thing the Lord got to give. And listen, I know you look at us in the state we in right now. Come here, SHALAM. Come here, SHALAM. I know you look at us in the state we in right now. Black people on drugs, and we suffering and dying. And I know it seems like you can do whatever you want to this people. I know it seems like this, but the time for glorifying yourself is soon at an end.